color they are. That's what this is all about. They're the racists in all of this. Make no mistake about it. I want to bring in now senior legal fellow at Advancing American Freedom. Our good friend Hans von Spakovsky is back. Hans, welcome to the program.
Sure, thanks. And look, you are absolutely right. In all their teeth gnashing, what they're saying is they're upset that the Supreme Court basically is enforcing the 15th and 14th Amendments to the Constitution, which say you cannot engage in racial discrimination in the voting context. And that's what Democrats want to do.
And so, Hans, they specifically drew districts in many of these states that lumped in all black folks, lumped in all Hispanic votes. And they wanted that based off of color. That makes no sense when you look at what America really should be all about, and that's being colorblind.
Right. No, that's very true. And it also reveals, frankly, what I consider to be a very racist attitude. They believe that your political beliefs are dependent on your skin color. I mean, that's what's behind this push to allow race to be used as the primary factor in drawing up districts. You know, the words carved on the outside of the Supreme Court's building in Washington are equal justice under the law. And that's exactly what the Supreme Court said has to happen 2 weeks ago when they issued this decision in Louisiana.
I guess, look, I don't want to be a hypocrite here, but maybe I'm disappointed in Republicans. Why haven't they been screaming and yelling that there's not one Republican member of Congress in New England, in all of these states? Not one. Right. And all of a sudden now the Democrats are yelling and screaming. They've been doing this to us for years, Hans.
Well, that is absolutely correct. I mean, the most annoying thing I keep hearing from the left stream media is, well, Republicans started this. Wrong. Look at blue states, places like Massachusetts. Trump got about a little more than a third of the vote there in the 2024 election, yet out of the 9 congressional seats, all 9 were configured to ensure Democratic victories. And it's like that in almost all of the blue states, either no Republican representation or they've minimized it to as small a number as they geographically can.
All right, do I have this right about Alabama, that the reason Alabama can now open it up to redrawing the maps is a lower court had ruled they had to look at race when drawing the maps.
Right.
And so now this is upended by this latest Supreme Court ruling. Is that the gist of it?
Yeah, after the 2020 census and when they created their new congressional seats, they did what they've done for decades. They created one black majority district, but they were sued by who? Democrats. And they convinced a lower court to order the state to create a second black majority district. Obviously, that second district, they had to use race to draw the lines. And yes, that Louisiana decision totally upends that. That order of the lower court has been dissolved. So the session can go forward in the Alabama legislature.
All right, real quick. Look, Mark Elias, he's a Democrat legal eagle for them. He's a pretty successful guy at this. You know, whether he's a good lawyer, bad lawyer, he knows what he's doing when it comes to pushing the Democrat agenda. Do we have to worry about him going to Florida now and some other court cases, or are we pretty insulated now because of the Supreme Court?
Well, he makes a lot of money filing lawsuits, but, you know, he has pretty much a losing record, and a lot of people don't realize that. There have already been several lawsuits filed down in in Florida, but they're not using the Voting Rights Act. They are using the state constitution, a provision that was put in by referendum a couple of years ago that basically says you're not supposed to favor one political party or incumbents when you do redistricting. Florida says, however, or the government says they believe that provision is unconstitutional under the U.S. Constitution. Why? That provision also said they have to give special consideration to racial groups. And that potentially violates equal protection.
Yeah, sure does. It's interesting stuff. Hans von Spakovsky, it's always great to have you on the program laying it out for me. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you.